Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel for Vocaholic Art Shop. So today we are going to be talking about the meaning behind one of my pieces, kind of the process of how I got the idea, the process during painting it, and kind of the overall meaning that I had intended behind the piece. So you can get a little more insight onto what goes on in my brain. It's pretty cray-cray up there, so let's get into it. The piece we're going to be talking about today is called Casualties of the Heart, and it is my newest painting that I just finished. So here it is. This is Casualties of the Heart. Let's get in here for some closer details. I got the original idea from the song Heartbreak Warfare by John Mayer because it is one of my favorite songs. And normally I just listen to music at night and my brain just starts spinning and I start getting images of paintings and I kind of just jot them down in my notepad of my phone and return to them, or I just don't. It started simply as a song that I heard and kind of just some images in my head, but then as life started to go on and we experienced new things, one of my best friends, she went through a really big breakup and I felt all of the energies that she was going through because as an empath, that naturally happens whether you like it to or not. So it started to gain more meaning for me and I was like, let me actually turn this into a painting. Before I start any painting, I typically have an overall, like I said, image in my mind of what I want the center to be or what the main focus of the piece is, and it kind of just evolves from there. Sometimes I think of the intricate details and they change as I go, which is normal. And most of the time the background is the very last piece that I add, because even though it's the background, I try to add a symbolic meaning behind that as well, just because I'm artsy-fartsy and like to do that, okay? The initial image I got in my head was a big anatomical heart because as empaths, we feel all of the things. So I felt like that was the perfect representation of that. And as it started to go on, I was picturing the song Heartbreak Warfare. So I was like, what if I have a whole bunch of like mannequin like people lined up on the floor or on the ground like a battlefield, like if they were killed. And then have heartstrings connecting everybody because we are all energy and we are all connected to each other in the universe. So I kind of wanted to portray that in the piece. And then I was talking to my dad about it and he was like, why don't you have people in different positions on the ground instead of like doing them straight on and just have a few of them? And I was like, let me think about that. And I was like, actually, that's a great idea. And I randomly drew 5 different like mannequin, like those like wooden dolls things. What are they called? The wooden toys. And I realized I drew only 5 of them. And I was like, wait, how many stages of grief are there? And I looked it up and there are 5. So intuitively, I just drew 5 of them and I thought that was pretty freaking cool. So I wanted each one to represent a different stage of grief, and they're not in the order that people say you grieve, but I think that's kind of the point, like everybody grieves differently. Although it is important to protect our hearts, I think it's important to realize when you're doing that out of fear versus when you're doing that out of serving your highest good and protecting that beautiful person that you are and are becoming. Lastly, let's talk about my intentions and the overall meaning that I had behind the piece. So I wrote it down right here in my phone so that I have it all nice and organized, because if not, my thoughts will be very jumbled. Here we go. We are collective energy. We are all connected at the heartstrings. Being empathetic allows us to share deeper connections and compassion with the people around us. Empaths sense and feel emotions as if they were their own experiences, and it can be extremely draining. Often empaths need time alone to retreat, recharge, and reflect. Being an empath is the most vulnerable thing you can do. Remember, it is still important to protect your energy from people and things that do not serve your highest good. Protecting your heart and seeking refuge within yourself is the highest form of self-love. If we were all a little more empathetic, not only to others, but ourselves, just imagine how much suffering would end. I believe empathy is the key to the preservation of humanity. Seeing heart to heart has miraculous healing power. For you, for me, and for the world. Choose empathy. Empathy fuels connection. Ta-da! For my fellow empaths in the world, let me know what this piece makes you feel. I'm really genuinely interested on what your first impressions were, and after hearing what my intentions were, what you think of it now. So comment down below and I'll definitely read all the comments and respond to you guys. I would love to start a conversation. So get to it. If you're interested in buying a print of my piece, Casualties of the Heart, along with my other surreal art, it will be linked down below in the description box and the comment area of vocaholicartshop.com for all your holographic, print, and limited edition hand-painted journal needs. Get the shopping, baby. I will also have linked below my personal Instagram, my Vocaholic Instagram, so definitely make sure to go give those a follow and subscribe to this channel. Duh.